Hey guys, welcome to my channel Medicos Board. Now I am discussing the venous drainage and superficial temporal region. The superficial temporal region, it is the region between the superior temporal line and the zygomatic arch. You can see here. In this superficial temporal region, we have 6 layers. They are skin, connective tissue, extension of epicranial aponeurosis, temporal fascia and muscle, and pericranium. In scalp, we have 5 layers. The 4th layer is loose connective tissue. Here in the place of 4th layer, we got temporalis fascia, temporal fascia and temporalis muscle. This is the difference and you should remember it. And next we can go to the arterial supply of the scalp. Here we can see the arterial supply of the scalp. The supratrochlear artery and supraorbital artery. This is the supratrochlear, this is supraorbital, and superficial temporal artery and posterior auricular artery and occipital artery. We can divide this into 2. So here this is preauricular. We can say that the region which is in front of the ear or anteriorly to the ear, and this is a region, the posterior region of the ear, you can say, like preauricular and postauricular. So these are the arteries which are supplying it. So this is the arterial supply of the scalp. So let's go to into a venous drainage. Very important, guys. Venous drainage is really important and you should remember. So the names of arteries is similar to the veins. So this is supraorbital, which is above the orbit, and this is supratrochlear, which is here. This is supraorbital and this is supratrochlear. These supraorbital and supratrochlear, they unite at the median angle of the eye, forming the angular vein. You can see that this is the median angle of the eye. So you call here this attachment as angular vein. As it moves forward and like it continues downwards as facial vein. You can call this vein as facial vein here. And you can see this is the tragus of the ear. So I will put another picture so you can understand clearly. This is this small part. This is called, so many people have the doubt what is tragus, ask me actually. So this is the tragus of the ear. So what happens is that the superficial temporal vein descends in front of the tragus and enter the, this is the region where the superficial temporal line descends and it enters the parotid gland. You can see clearly in this picture where I will show you. Yeah, this is the tragus. This is the tragus, and this is the superficial temporal line where it descends in front of the tragus and enter the parotid gland, which is present in this region, and joins the maxillary vein to form, this is the maxillary vein. It joins the maxillary vein. This superficial temporal vein joins with maxillary vein and it forms the retromandibular vein. Okay, the vein again is divided into 2 parts like this. This is the anterior division and this is the posterior division. So anterior retromandibular vein you can say, and you can say that posterior retromandibular vein. Okay, and as I show you here, the supraorbital and supratrochlear unite to form facial vein. Here the facial vein unites with anterior retromandibular vein and it forms a common facial vein. So you should remember this also. And this common facial vein drains into internal jugular vein. So this is the internal jugular vein. Okay, so this is the posterior division of retromandibular vein. You can see here, this is the posterior retromandibular vein unites with posterior auricular vein. Okay, this is the posterior auricular vein here. So it unites with posterior auricular vein. Posterior retromandibular vein unites with posterior auricular vein to form the external jugular vein. Here it forms the external jugular vein. These external jugular vein ultimately drains into, this is subclavian. So many people ask me that what ma'am, what the posterior retromandibular vein and and anterior retromandibular vein. It's very easy. You should remember the picture so that you can understand it very easily. So this is the posterior retromandibular vein, which unites with posterior auricular vein, and it drains into it forms the external jugular vein, and then it drains into subclavian vein. So this is the subclavian vein. Okay, there are emissary veins which connects the extracranial veins with intracranial venous sinuses to equalize the pressure. This is the emissary vein, where I can show you here. This is the emissary vein which connects the extracranial veins to intracranial veins to equalize the pressure, and these veins are valvulus. There are many like parietal emissary vein and mastoid emissary vein, which passes through this mastoid emissary vein passes through mastoid foramen, and this parietal emissary vein passes through parietal foramen. Okay, so extracranial infections may spread through these veins to intracranial veins, venous sinuses actually. So there is a topic of dipolic veins. Many people ask what the dipolic veins. So many people have confusion as what is dipolic veins. Actually, these are the veins which start in cancellous bones. Okay, what is cancellous bones? Actually, cancellous bones are the bones which are present at the ends of long bones. Like if you see the which are present at the ends of the long bones, these are very trabeculous, means they have many trabeculae. These are the cancellous bones are that they form blood cells. Actually, they are very they play an important role in formation of blood cells. Actually, cancellous bones are of less strength than normal bones. You can check it out. And these dipolic veins carry the newly formed blood cells which are formed by cancellous bones into general circulation. There are 4 veins on each side. They are frontal, anterior, and occipital posterior. These are the veins. So these are the dipolic veins actually. These are the dipolic veins 4. So this is the concept of venous drainage. Thank you for watching it. So next I explain the nerve supply of the scalp. Yeah, we got the nerve supply of the. Actually, there are 5 nerves here and 5 nerves here. In the 5, we have 4 sensory and 1 motor nerve, and these also 4 sensory and 1 motor. You can list all these nerves and you should study. There is nothing, actually anatomy is all about you study, and what the understanding thing is where there are in our body. So study and remember all concepts. Thank you for watching my video. If you like it, please do subscribe, and thank you.